But the main reason that game did a massive TV rating wasn't Breanna Stewart or Sabrina Ionescu. The main reason, obviously, is by far the biggest draw in the WNBA. The reason just about every Fever road game is moved to that city's NBA arena. That reason, that player, is obviously Caitlin Clark.
They did it again. Another game, another controversy, and another night where Caitlin Clark, the face of the WNBA, was left hanging while the referees swallowed their whistles. And this time, it might have cost the Indiana Fever the win. A brutal no call in the final seconds of a tight 90-88 loss to the New York Liberty left the arena stunned. The players outraged, and head coach Stephanie White absolutely furious. In her most explosive post-game rant yet, White didn't just question the officiating, she torched it. "It's egregious. They robbed us," she said, and that was just the beginning. This isn't just about one missed call anymore, this is becoming a pattern. The Fever aren't just playing their opponents, they're battling the referees too. And now, fans are asking the same question. Is this incompetence? Or is something more deliberate going on? Let's break it all down. It all came down to one final play. With under 3 seconds left on the clock and the Fever down by 2, Caitlin Clark, the undeniable heart of this team, had the ball. Everyone in the arena knew what was coming. Clark rose for the potential game-winning shot, and then boom, Natasha Cloud makes contact. The ball gets stripped, the buzzer sounds, and the whistle? Dead silent. Clark throws up her arms in frustration, shouting, "You gotta be kidding me!" She turns to the referee, disbelief written all over her face. Her teammate Sophie Cunningham joins her in protest, but nothing changes. No review, no explanation. Just another loss, gift-wrapped for the Liberty. Now let's be real, this wasn't some soft touch foul, this was contact.
Unfortunately though, the celebration in the WNBA, it was cut short yesterday afternoon as WNBA players learned the harsh lesson, be careful what you wish for. Headline at the New York Post. Caitlin Clark sidelined with Indiana Felines announcing shock injury.
Any reasonable viewer could see Clark was hit. And the worst part? It wasn't just the fans who saw it, it was the league. The clip was shared everywhere, including by the Liberty themselves, who proudly posted the final play as a highlight. But the replies? A firestorm of backlash. "You didn't win that game," one fan wrote. "The refs did." Coach Stephanie White didn't hold back. In the post-game press conference, she called the officiating egregious and ripped into the WNBA's lack of consistency. -31 in free throws over the last few games, she said. "It's unbelievable. We're attacking the rim, not chucking threes." This wasn't frustration, it was exhaustion. White has had enough. She's seen her team play aggressive, attacking basketball, and get punished for it while other teams seem to skate by untouched. This wasn't just about Caitlin Clark getting fouled. It was about an ongoing pattern of disrespect, and she made that crystal clear. Even more damning, White questioned the league's own process for handling grievances. She acknowledged there's a system in place, but then hit them with the real punch. "I don't know if it works." That's a coach calling out the entire infrastructure of officiating in the WNBA. That's a big accusation. And based on what we've seen, she might be right. Caitlin Clark is not just any player. She's a generational talent, the face of women's basketball, and the reason many fans are watching the WNBA for the very first time. And that's why her reaction to this no call was so powerful. It wasn't just frustration, it was emotional honesty delivered with raw intensity. With the buzzer echoing through the arena and her shot stripped away with obvious contact, Clark didn't hold back. Her arms shot into the air, her mouth opened in disbelief. She stared straight at the official and yelled, "You gotta be kidding me!" Then followed it with a cold, sharp, "Are you serious?" That wasn't just a player angry about a missed call. It was a superstar asking a league, "Why am I not being protected?" And what made her response resonate so strongly was the balance. Clark didn't cross the line. She didn't curse out the ref. She didn't throw the ball or storm off the court. She stood there with all eyes on her and made sure her disappointment was clear. That's leadership. That's professionalism. And it's a moment fans won't forget. But the deeper issue here is what this means for her long-term development. When your brightest star is repeatedly targeted and not protected, it sends a dangerous message, not just to her, but to everyone watching. It tells rookies to tough it out instead of demanding fairness. It tells fans the game isn't being called evenly. And it tells other teams, go ahead and get physical, refs won't call it. That's a recipe for disillusionment. Clark may be holding herself together now, but how long can a player sustain that grace under pressure when the league keeps failing her? You don't build a league on one player, but you can lose one if the fans lose faith in how she's treated. And that's exactly the danger the WNBA is facing right now. Because after that missed call, fans absolutely erupted. And not just Indiana Fever supporters, WNBA watchers across the country jumped online to call out the injustice.
So Ryan Howard he was fouling Caitlin Clark the whole game, and is going into Caitlin Clark coming back to Ryan Howard. I'm not scared of you. Saying that. And it's funny where it's like, people like these players hate each other. Like, Caitlin Clark and Ryan Howard have played on national teams.
The Liberty's own social media post, a slow-motion replay of the final possession, backfired immediately. What should have been a celebratory clip was instantly swarmed with comments calling out the foul. Fans accused the refs of rigging the game, giving the Liberty a referee-assisted win, and embarrassing the sport on a national stage. And what made it even more impactful? The language fans were using. These weren't just angry hot takes. These were thoughtful, emotional pleas from people who felt betrayed. I've been watching because of Caitlin, one user wrote, but this is hard to stomach. Another said, how do you grow the game if this is how you treat your stars? This is the part the league cannot afford to ignore. Fan trust is everything. Once it's gone, it's almost impossible to get back. If these controversial calls continue, and if the league remains silent, those loyal new viewers will vanish. And they won't just walk away quietly. They'll take to social media, they'll call out the bias, and they'll warn others. The WNBA is growing, yes, but growth without integrity is a house of cards. And right now, that house is shaking. This is bigger than Caitlin Clark, bigger than a single no call. What we're witnessing right now is an inflection point for the WNBA, an integrity crisis that, if not handled with urgency and transparency, could derail everything the league has worked so hard to build. Because this isn't just about referees missing a call, it's about what happens when the league doesn't respond, when silence speaks louder than any official statement.
Yeah, I think we're just focused on ourselves. You know, you prepare every single night. I think that's the great thing about this league. And also, you know, you play and then you have a day and then you play again, and then you have a day and you play again. You have to be able to flush things really fast. You can't get too high, you can't get too low. You just got to stay right in the middle. So that's going to be the challenge for our group, you know, build from it, appreciate how we came out here and really played and competed tonight. But also, like, I felt like, you know, I know we put up 93 points and still won by 30, but I felt like there was a lot of ways for us to still improve. And that's what's exciting too. Like, you know, and I think everybody's still hungry to go back to work and get better.
Let's put it into perspective. Caitlin Clark is not only the most hyped rookie in WNBA history, she's the economic engine currently powering the league's growth. She's breaking attendance records. She's pulling in millions of new viewers. She's making headlines every single day, drawing attention from major sports media that, just a year ago, barely covered the league. She's not just playing in the WNBA, she is the WNBA's main attraction right now. And yet, she's being officiated like a mid-level bench player. Where's the star treatment? Where's the protection? In the NBA, when Steph Curry or LeBron James goes up for a final shot and gets touched, you can bet the whistle's coming. Why? Because they're stars. Because the integrity of the moment matters. Because letting physical contact decide the outcome of a national stage showdown is bad for the game. But in the WNBA, Clark gets stripped in a moment of clear contact, and nothing. No whistle, no review, no accountability. Just another shrug from the league. And that's not just a missed call, that's a missed opportunity. What message does this send? To young players, it says, don't expect fairness. To coaches, it says, yelling into the void is all you've got. To fans, it says, the outcome of games might not be decided by the players at all. And to the stars like Clark, who are literally saving the league from irrelevance. It says, we'll use your name, your image, your jersey sales. But when it comes to protecting you on the court, you're on your own. This is how leagues collapse under their own weight, when integrity takes a backseat to damage control. When the officiating isn't just inconsistent, it's indefensible. And the longer the WNBA avoids confronting it, the more they risk turning this golden era of growth into a hollow, short-lived spike. So, what needs to happen? First, transparency. The league must review these calls publicly, not behind closed doors. Publish the footage. Acknowledge the mistakes. Let the fans see that someone is being held accountable. Second, standards. There must be real, consistent consequences for referees who miss game-deciding calls. Not just quiet suspensions, but visible retraining, reassignment, or replacement. Fans need to trust that the officials are not untouchable. Third, protection for stars. Yes, basketball is a contact sport. But when the league's biggest draw gets hit on a game winner and doesn't even get the chance to go to the line, that's not toughness. That's negligence. There should be an internal protocol, just like in the NBA, to monitor how star players are officiated in crunch time. If the league wants to grow, it has to understand the value of star power and protect it at all costs. Finally, and most importantly, a cultural shift. The WNBA has to decide, does it want to be taken seriously as a major league? Because major leagues don't allow their most valuable assets to be treated like disposable pieces. Major leagues don't let game-deciding moments go unchecked, and major leagues don't lose control of their narratives to bad officiating. If the WNBA gets this wrong, if they stay silent, if they let this pattern continue, they risk alienating the very people who have finally started paying attention. And the next time Caitlin Clark goes up for a shot in the final seconds, fans won't be holding their breath in anticipation. They'll be holding it in doubt. Because once fans believe the outcome isn't fair, it's game over, not for one team, for the whole league.